What's up, comic book community? My name is Joe, and this is 360 Comics. Today, I want to talk to you about a cause that is near and dear to my heart, because for far too long, there has been a major Marvel character that has been overshadowed, despite his enormous impact in the stories that we all love. It is now finally time to take that character out of the shadows and put him in the limelight. Stay tuned to learn more. I only had time to put out 2 videos last week, and I didn't pick a winner for the giveaway, so we're going to continue to run this giveaway prize for this week, and I'll be adding a special surprise second book to the box as well for whoever wins. So if you want your chance to win, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave a comment on it. You can go back, check out our videos from last week as well, and hit that notification bell so you know when our videos come out later this week. Good luck. So I bet you're wondering to yourself, who is this character that has been overshadowed through his years in Marvel comic books? And I'm going to tell you right now. It is Dr. Miles Warren, aka the Jackal, a character from the Spider-Man comic books who first debuted in the Silver Age and had a long 10-year stretch in the comics before he eventually was killed off. But his impact has resonated through the decades all the way until the present day, and he is not a character that we should forget about anytime soon. So let's go back to the history of the Jackal, starting with his first appearance just as Dr. Miles Warren in issue number 31 of The Amazing Spider-Man from 1965. Now, this cover probably looks familiar to you because it is a major comic book key, but I don't really think that has anything to do with the fact that it's Miles Warren's first appearance, because he is completely overshadowed, as he always is, by it also being the first appearance of Gwen Stacy, longtime love interest of Peter Parker, as well as, a different universe version of Spider-Gwen, who has become immensely popular in the last few years, and Harry Osborn, best friend of Peter Parker, the son of Norman Osborn, the original Green Goblin, and the second Green Goblin himself. So I often see this book listed as first appearance of Gwen Stacy and Harry Osborn. Gwen Stacy and Harry Osborn. Gwen Stacy and Harry Osborn. Where is Dr. Miles Warren on the listing, on eBay, on Facebook groups, things like that? They neglect to mention that character, despite him being a major character and despite him having such an important impact, which we will get to very shortly. It's frustrating. Key Collector, thankfully, does list this interesting triple key as the first appearance of Miles Warren, so that's good. Let's start there. Let's start growing the awareness about Dr. Miles Warren. Okay, now moving on. This character was a professor of Peter Parker's, of Gwen Stacy's. He had a weird obsession with Gwen Stacy. Eventually, a lot of his torments, a lot of his failures caught up with him, and he turned into a villain, had a downhill spiral that we watched emerge in the comic books all the way from his first appearance back in 1965 to 1974. And in 1974, the character reemerged as a villain known as the Jackal. Now, his first appearance is in a phenomenal comic book, Amazing Spider-Man number 129. Now, if you're a Spider-Man collector at all, you probably know that number. And once again, it is not because of Miles Warren, the Jackal. It is because it is the first appearance of Frank Castle, the Punisher. Again, overshadowed, thrown into the corner. It's unfortunate. It's sad. It's sad. Now, it wasn't known initially in the comic books that Miles Warren was, in fact, the Jackal. That identity was kept secret for a year and a half. Once again, on listings, you see the first appearance of the Punisher all the time. You don't see much on the Jackal. CGC annotates it. Key Collector says it. But a lot of listings on eBay and elsewhere, no mention of the Jackal. Poor Miles. Now, as mentioned, his identity was kept secret for an entire year and a half in the comic books. It was not revealed that the Jackal was, in fact, Dr. Miles Warren. Finally, issue number 148 of The Amazing Spider-Man. His identity was revealed, and it was also his first cover appearance. This guy had been around for a year and a half, not a single cover appearance, even in a tiny little blurb or anything like that. It was long overdue, let's say. Finally, his identity was revealed to the reader. Dr. Miles Warren is the Jackal. He is the one who's been going through all the cloning experiments. This is a partial origin story, first cover, and identity reveal. This is finally the first book that really captures the essence of the character, that really focuses in on him and puts him in the spotlight. Unfortunately, it is the least sought after, least valuable of all of the books that I'll be talking about today. And even more bad news comes in the next issue, because we're talking about the very next chronological issue, issue number 149. This book, unfortunately, is the untimely death of Dr. Miles Warren, the Jackal. Now, that being said, he finally had gotten his own focused book in the last issue, not being overshadowed by other characters that became far, far more popular. And then they kill him off. Cut down in his prime. Sad. Truly sad. And not only that, but they're going to overshadow his death with the first appearance of Ben Reilly, the clone of Peter Parker, unnamed at the time, but we know he becomes Ben Reilly. A character that Miles Warren himself created through his cloning experiments, which led to that original 70s clone saga, which led to the 90s clone saga that gave us the name Ben Reilly and the character Kane and like 2 years of a run that just kept changing writers, but I won't get into that. Not only that, but those characters, a lot of them, especially Ben Reilly himself, have stuck around till today. In fact, Ben Reilly has recently taken on the identity of Chasm and is wreaking havoc as a villain now. We know we're getting a series at the end of this year called Dark Web, featuring Ben Reilly, a clone of Peter Parker, teaming up with Madeline Pryor, a clone of Jean Grey, against the superheroes. But yet, Miles, Dr. Miles Warren, that is, a name we should respect, still tucked away in the corner. Well, I'm here today to bring him into the spotlight again. Despite his keys being overshadowed in every sense of the word, I think it's time that we give him some appreciation we need. So I'm starting this GoFundMe to help the Jackal feel better. We have already made it more than halfway to our goal of $150,000, earning over $80,000 from over 1,000 donations. It's your time. Help the Jackal. Call 1-800-HELP-JACKAL. For just 25 cents a day, you too can adopt a Jackal and make a difference in his life. With that, I will bid you adieu, and until next time, turn the page, wash your hands.